Hello everyone, students. Yes, students, the chemical properties as well as physical properties of metals and non-metals is over, is finished. Now, the major explanatory part of this chapter is over along with the completion of these properties. Now, I know the topic is quite complicated and you people are finding a lot of difficulty in understanding these properties. Students, for better understanding, if you have any doubt, call me and solve that doubt personally. Okay, students? One more thing, that go through the properties one by one. Like if you are discussing two properties today, no need to think about rest of the properties. Only study two properties at a time, not more than two. Okay? Later on, when you understand that two properties properly, like you decide to understand formation of ions and reactivity series today. So first of all, you have to learn the reactivity series and the concept behind the formation of ions. Until and unless you are not understanding that two properties, no need to move forward. Okay? Because all the properties are interconnected and they are lying in a sequence. Okay? So no need to break that sequence as you are studying about reaction of metals with acids first and you don't know anything about reactivity series. So no need to do such type of things. Okay? And if you find any difficulty, call me. Yes. Our today's topic is, let's begin with our today's topic is elements and their occurrence. Yes, students, elements. See, if you want to find out any element in a individually, are you able to get from the soil? Are you able to get that element from the atmosphere? See, just observe that I said to you, bring one piece of iron from the soil. Are you able to bring that piece? No, because it is not available over there. See, metals are reactive and you all know that they are reacting with air, water, etc. And air and water is present in our surroundings. It means whenever the metal is present in the atmosphere, in the soil, it will get react with the air and water available over there. It means that they are available in the compound form, in the combined form. That is whether the oxides or the hydroxides of that particular metal. Okay. It means elements are not available in free state. Reactive metals always occur in combined state, which is known as minerals like aluminium, iron, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. They mostly occur in their oxides and hydroxides form. Okay? Because whenever they are present somewhere, they will instantly get react with the air and water present. Okay? Now, the minerals from which metals can be extracted profitably are called as ores. Yes, students, if I want calcium to make the medicines, what should I do? I have to collect the calcium from the atmosphere only, from the soil, and now I am getting the calcium in the form of oxide. So, I have to separate that calcium from its oxide. This is known as extraction of minerals by separating the metal from the mineral from the ore from its oxides or hydroxides. Okay, students, this is the occurrence and of any of the element, naturally occurring element. Now, useful metals. See, there are total number of elements which are present in the surrounding, in the atmosphere is 116. Among them, naturally occurring are 92 elements. Okay, including metals and non-metals both. Now, non-metals are 18 and metalloids, a new term for you all that we will study after today's lecture, maybe on Monday. That is, metalloids are 6 in number and rest of the Rest of them are metals only. Means 92 are metals. Okay. But here I am going to give you a list of metals which are very useful in our day-to-day life. See, we are using these metals regularly on regular basis. Here we need to discuss the uses of these metals so that you will remember them, okay, and understand them. Yes, iron. Students, iron. Have you seen iron somewhere at your home? Railing, gate, main gate is made up of iron, almiras are there made up of iron, many more. Refrigerator, the body, okay, metallic body is there, many things are made up of iron. Now students, so how do we define the uses of iron? Iron is used in construction industries, in the construction of buildings, factories, etc. Is used in making vehicles, used in making agricultural equipments, used in making chemical equipments, medical equipments, etc. Iron is highly useful metal. Okay students. Now aluminium. Students, aluminium is very light in weight, which is a good quality of aluminium. That's why it is used in aviation industry for making the different parts of aircraft. Okay, aviation industries are those industries which works for the making of the different parts of aircrafts. Okay. Now copper. Copper, a very useful metal used for making the electrical wiring. Okay. Electrical wiring. Any other use of copper? Yes. In the making of utensils, etc. Now noble metals. Now what are noble metals? See, rare metals are the noble metals. Gold, silver, platinum are the noble metals. The uses of noble metals is in the jewelry industry. It is very common for you all. But if you are talking about the individual function of these noble metals, then what will be their function? Yes, about silver. See, silver is used to make good quality mirrors. It is also used in making the jewelry. It is also used in making some expensive wirings where we need to establish some good conductivity. As you all know that silver is having a very good conductivity, but we are not using it in electrical wiring because it is expensive. Okay students, but if we want to make something very expensive structure, like in some resistance industry, like in some experiments performed in physical laboratory where we need to use that good conductivity material along with other properties which are suitable for silver, that silver is used over there. Now gold, due to its high ductility, gold is used to make very thin wires. It is also used for making the expensive clothes. Any other use of gold? Yes, gold is also used in the experiments performed during chemical industries and physical laboratories, okay, as well as industries. Now platinum. Platinum is used for jewelry. Other than that, platinum is used to make permanent magnets along with cobalt. Okay, the mixture of cobalt and platinum is used to make permanent magnets. Now calcium is used in medical industries, medicines, for making the medicines related to bones, as it provides strength to bones, joints, etc. Sodium, common salt, sodium chloride. We are using it on daily basis while eating the food. Okay, it is very important for us because it is used to make common salts. Now, any other use of sodium? Yes, for de-icing the roads which are blocked during winters. Yes, we used to throw sodium over there to de-ice for the melting of ice which is blocking the roads in icy areas during snowfalls. Okay. Now mercury. Mercury is used to make thermometers. Is there any other use of making the mercury of? Yes, mercury is also used in other scientific instruments, beta, like barometer, manometer, etc. Okay. Now zinc. Zinc in the galvanization process to avoid rusting of different metals. Galvanization, the process of galvanization is performed in which the metal zinc is used. The coating of zinc should and avoid rusting, okay, because of its non-corrosive nature. Now your classwork. Long question number 4. Gold and platinum are expensive. Graphite is used to make electrodes. Copper loses its shine when exposed to moist air. These are the 3 questions. 3 reasonable questions which need some small explanation to justify the statement. This is long question number 4 having 3 parts. You have to do this question as your classwork. Write it down in your notebook. Gold and platinum are expensive. See students, because they are rare metals. That's why they are expensive. See, if a particular thing is, the availability of particular thing is less, then that particular thing will become expensive. Nowadays, it is happening with us also. See, during lockdown, factories and industries are not manufacturing the products. That's why whatever we are getting is quite expensive, as even shopkeepers are getting these things by difficulty. That's why they are charging more. These things are expensive right now because of their availability, rareness. Okay. The same situation is with gold and platinum, as they are rare metals. That's why they are expensive. Okay. Now graphite is used to make electrodes. Yes. Electrodes. Beta, electrodes are some rod-like structure which is used to perform the process of electroplating. Okay, that you have studied in the preventive measures of rusting in class 7th. That is electroplating, in which the electrodes are used, and electrodes are made up of graphite because graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Also, it is cheaper, non-corrosive, high melting point, generally non-reactive, because these all are properties needful for making the electrodes. Because when we are passing the electricity, a particular substance, compound, object must have high melting point, otherwise it may melt. Non-corrosive, because the reaction is going on. If a particular substance is having a property of corrosiveness, then it is not suitable over there. Non-reactive, whatever the solutions are lying over there in the beaker, the graphite will not react with them due to its non-reactive nature. That's why graphite is used to make electrodes. Okay. Now, copper vessels loses their shine when exposed to air because they form a layer of copper carbonate on its surface by reacting with the gases present in the atmosphere. See, copper is reacting with oxygen, water, carbon dioxide. Okay, moist air contains oxygen and carbon dioxide also. Okay, water also. That's why the reaction is performed and it forms what? It forms copper hydroxide carbonate. See, CuOH whole twice CuCO3. Combining this compound is known as malachite green. Okay? Okay, students? Now, do your long question number 4 as your classwork that we had discussed, and no homework for today. Students, no homework for today. Okay. Thank you everyone.